Who's Better video. I brought it back. 5 months absence. It's back now, baby. It's back now, baby. And DX versus the N.W.O. Who's Better series. I actually found out my last Who's Better video that this was the upcoming video. Another faction N.W.O. And when I look back, the N.W.O. and DX got a lot of votes. But because I didn't promote it, I didn't get a lot. I got 3 votes. Shout out to those 3 people, if you remember that video, that voted. So DX and N.W.O. We're going to do this. I have a couple of videos coming up very soon. Hopefully, by the way, hopefully you enjoyed that intro. I brought the bear out. I'm going to give it a name. Maybe you guys can decide a name for the bear. If I'll bring him back in a couple of videos, and I'll sing. He'll sing along. He'll do some more things. He's very productive in the videos, and he uploads my videos and edits them and everything. So props to him, man. Props to him. So I have more videos coming up soon after this one. Raw review, of course, tomorrow. Another Who's Better video. Wyatt's in the Shield. WrestleMania 30-day live video. I know I haven't uploaded that, and I'm giving my lashings right now because, you know, I just haven't found time. It's hard to upload. I want to upload the whole thing, and I don't want to edit it because I'm lazy. But whatever. I have an FYE video I have to upload. It's like 6 minutes long. It's me showing DVDs. So if you want to see that, help me out. There were another Raw review probably the next week. So this is stuff that you could possibly see in the next week. I'll be covering WWE 2K14 figure reviews, and SummerSlam will be coming up soon. Sorry, guys, I'm having hiccups for some reason today, and if I slip up on my line, just forgive me. Anyway, guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this Who's Better video, shall we? And my Wolfpack for life. There we go. Better debut. N.W.O. I believe the N.W.O. had a better debut because DX just came out and they simply, you know, interacted with Sergeant Slaughter and blah, 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 blah. And that's how they were introduced, you know, with Hunter Hearst Helmsley being the Blue Blood at that time with, you know, with Chyna. And, you know, they had Rick Rude and they had Shawn Michaels, of course. But the N.W.O., they had this tremendous build-up with Scott Hall, Reza Ramon, Chico. And then they had Kevin Nash, Diesel. And then they had, you know, they had to build who's the third man going to be. You know, they had pay-per-views where they powerbombed Eric Bischoff at the Great American Bash. And then it led up to Bash at the Beach in 1996. And then we found out who the third man would be, and that would be Hulk Hogan. He went from the red and yellow to the black and white. You know, that was it was a big deal at that time. Of course, I wasn't alive at that time, you know, at this point. But I know it was a big deal because Hulk Hogan turning heel, that's just out. You know, who would have ever thought Hulk Hogan, lifelong babyface, now going to be a heel? Who would have never thought that? And it happened. And Hulk Hogan turned heel, and that's why I believe this is a better debut because of the impact it had later on in the business, rather than DX coming out, oh, we're DX, we're just gonna blah, 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 blah. They built it up with WCW, and WCW did some wrong things, but they definitely did some right things, introducing the NWO with the, you know, the beginning 3. So, then we had the better theme. Better theme, NWO. I'd take the NWO any day of the week. And for those of you that like the DX theme, that's good. Like the DX theme, keep on liking it. But I don't like the DX theme. I just think it's annoying. It's just like, are you ready? Do. You think you can tell us what to do? He sounds like he's tired, you know. You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Bow to the madness. Yeah. Break it down, dude. And then he starts screaming, well, you better get used to the way. Like, I just get annoyed by it. And I'll take the Wolfpack, like I did earlier in the video. I'll take the, I'll take that any day of the week. DX can suck it for all I care. Yeah, I did their own catchphrase. Better merchandise. NWO. They had the 4 Life shirts, NW 4 Life. DX just had, you know, the DX, and it'd be like, it would say, have that big X right here, and it'd say D-Generation X, like, it'd just be like, kind of like right around here, like a rectangle, and then they, you know, NWO had, a picture of Scott Hall, and it said the Outsiders, and they had the whole square, just kind of similar, and then it said NWO and New World Order is like the little print at the bottom. I thought the NWO had better T-shirts because it was more simpler, and it was just a simple black T-shirt, and DX was kind of a boring T-shirt, and they also had the jerseys and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily call them as necessarily as T-shirts. So, but better members. Now here is where we get into kind of debatable things, and we're necessarily. I mean, these other three topics can be debatable as well, but to me, I think this next one, the better members. All right, so you had Triple H and Shawn Michaels. It was Rick Rude and Chyna at one point. Chyna left, and then Hunter herself. I believe he went to the corporation. Then they went back to the then DX came, or that was after. So then it was DX, of course. You had Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Shawn Michaels, left after WrestleMania 14. Then you had Rick Rude, he left, of course, as well. And then you had X-Pac, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg. X-Pac was also 6 in the NWO. So I honestly believe, because there were so many members and it got so ridiculous at one point, they had Steiner come there. They had then they had the Nasty Boys try to get in at one point. It was just they had Buff Bagwell and Virgil and Ted DiBiase as a mouthpiece, but they didn't need a mouthpiece. They had Six. They had the Giant. And they had good members at first. I think the first 6 or 8 were pretty good. And then it just got to get ridiculous. They had a whole limo, and then it was just full NWO members, and half the roster was NWO, and then they had L.W.O. and then it was just, I don't know, it was just ridiculous. So I'd say better members, DX overall, And then we get to the better reincarnation now. The NWO had different versions of the end. We had LWO, which is not affiliated with the NWO by any means necessary, but the NWO, you had I guess Conan would fit that role. We know with the Wolfpack, they had the Wolfpack, black and white, and stuff like that. So you had those two that were the original, and I don't necessarily call them a reincarnation because it happened at a point 98, 97, 99, those kind of areas, and then they had more stuff and blah 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 blah. DX. I'm talking about when DX split and we're gone for a while, years. NWO ended, and then they came back in 2002. It was Michaels, it was Scott Hall, it was Booker T, it was Big Show, and it was Kevin Nash, because they kicked Hulk Hogan out at Mania 18, and they kicked out, I believe, did I say 6 or did I say X-Pac already? I don't know. But those guys were in the NWO, and DX, when they came back, I just thought it was better because NWO had a very short lifespan. I just thought it was done at that point because, you already had this great idea, and it just diminished the whole company, and then then it wasn't necessarily, it was kind of stale, and everybody was tired of it because NWO basically was an idea from 96 all the way till WCW closed its doors, and that was mainly what it was known for. And now they were trying to get that memory out of their head, and then now we're getting to a new and fresh storylines in WWF or WWE around in 2002 after Mania 18, Backlash, Insurrection, 2002. And now NWO comes back and it's just still stale. You polish a turd, it's still a turd. You know what I'm saying? If that it's the same thing, and DX, of course. DX, oh my god, I need to get that out of my head real quick. Okay, DX, they had Shawn Michaels and they had Triple H, and they had DX, and they had Shawn Michaels, they had Triple H and stuff like that, and it was just that, and they were feuding with the McMahons, and they had other feuds and stuff like that, like Rated RKO. And then eventually they come back in 2009. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great. They feuded with Legacy and stuff like that. Young upstart groups. DiBiase, Rose, and Orton, Edge, just kind of stuff like that. That kind of stuff. And I just think that was a better reincarnation. Anyway, better leaders. I had this as a tie. DX and NWO get the victory here because Michaels, when it first started, Hulk Hogan was the better leader, and it fit well. When it started kind of getting out of hand, now Triple H, became the leader, and I think it became, somewhat better because NWO kind of ran its course. I really believe it ran its course in '98, when late '98 when Goldberg lost. At that point, I thought DX was just better and they had better feuds too. They had the Nation of Domination. They were just, tag team titles, European Championship, Hardcore Championship, Intercontinental Championship, all that kind of good stuff running through DX. And it was the same thing in NWO, but it was just kind of garnered towards two guys more than necessarily the other guys. You slap NWO on them, that doesn't mean they're great. It was kind of based on Nash and Hogan. I mean, it really was Nash and Hogan. You can say Hall, and yes, and I would say yeah, but I just really believe it's just Nash and Hall. So, it can go both ways. You can say NWO, and you can say DX, and it's, I just think tie. So currently, right now, it is 4-4 or 4-3. Excuse me, it's 4-3. Better storylines, DX. Just like I said, better storylines. DX had better storylines. Beginning, NWO had good storylines to just beat people down. They had Sting. They had other things like that were pretty cool. WCW, Team WCW. So this is very arguable and stuff like that, but I kind of believe DX had a better rivalry with NOD, Nation Domination, stuff like that. And also, Nation Domination's coming back. We are the nation. I don't have a... I'll just sound stupid. Bigger impact. The NWO had a bigger impact. Again, very arguable. But NWO had a better impact on me because DX, the Attitude Era was fueled by Stone Cold, The Rock, Mankind, Undertaker, maybe even Triple H, and a little bit of DX. But the Monday Night Wars that helped WWF become a better global promotion, it helped them from the NWO. The NWO was a big, great concept, stolen from, I believe, a Japan group that they had, an inner working group. It was a great concept. Hogan, a bad guy, outsiders, invading from the WWE, but they were really just WCW superstars. They had good storylines, and then they had good TV where they just beat people down and people tuned in to see what they were going to do. When DX was going around in 97 and 98, they were still getting beat in the ratings, It's not like DX was the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the Attitude. Triple H might want you to think that DX won the Monday Night Wars, but it didn't. NWO did. NWO helped out the Monday Night Wars, and if it wasn't for NWO, I really think that WWE would not be the promotion it is today. I think NWO and the WCW storyline that they had going on was fantastic until it got out of hand. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. NWO wins with this one 4-2. Oh, it's 5-4. Excuse me, 5-4. Let me write that down. 5-4. All right. So, yep. Thank you for watching this video. I know I kind of messed up and botched some lines. So, also, just comment down below what you guys think about these topics that I discussed. I discussed 8, and determine whether DX was better on some of these things, and point out any mistakes that I had or what he had to say. And also give a name for the bear. Give a name for the bear. If you want to see him back, he'll be back soon. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Peace.